Hey everyone, and welcome back. So doing some news updates. A couple of these things have already been announced. I know I've sort of been meaning to get around to them, so I'm going to include them in this video. And we also got one announcement that, to be honest, I'm actually kind of shocked we actually are getting it. So I'm going to save that one for last because quite honestly, I think I'm still just need time to sort of absorb the fact that, like, is that really coming out? So we have a couple of announcements that don't have details on them just yet, but some cool announcements. First up, one I'm super excited about, and I was kind of hoping this was going to come eventually, and that is indeed that Blue Underground is going to release Larry Cohen's God Told Me To in 4K. That is such an underrated film, and one I was really hoping would come to 4K because the restoration that they did for the Blu-ray was just stunning. And so they're doing some additional work on it to just, clean it up and sort of get it more 4K ready. No release date and no further details at this time, but just so happy that that is indeed in the works. And I really hope they can do some other Larry Cohen films as well. Hopefully they get the rights to Q back, because their DVD release of Q from way back when was such a great release. So I'm hoping they can do a 4K release of Q. I would love that. Next up, Vestron has announced another title. Coming March 15th is the film Dream a Little Dream. Now, there are no more details as far as extras go just yet, but I assume those should be coming soon, considering that that's pretty much due out in like 2 months. But yeah, kind of a cool announcement there. One of the movies with the two Coreys from way back when. Scream Factory has announced a new title that is exclusive to the Shout Factory website. Another one that's limited to 1,500, and that is the film The Brain Eaters. And this is getting a new 2K transfer from a fine grain print, which considering that it's fine grain print, that probably means that the negative is probably long gone. So I'm glad that they're able to give this some sort of release. That is set for January 25th, but the pre-order is up right now. And Scream Factory has also announced the extras on their upcoming release of the Hammer film Nightmare, which is set to come out on March 15th. And that is going to get a new transfer from the Inner Positive, a new audio commentary with film historian Bruce Hallenbeck, Sleepless Nights, an interview with author film historian Kim Newman, Slice and Fright, an interview with author film historian Jonathan Rigby, Reliving the Nightmare, interviews with actress Julie Samuel, continuity person Pauline Wise, and focus puller Geoff Glover. Nightmare in the Making, interviews with actress Jenny Linden, writer Jimmy Sangster, art director Don McGay, and hosted by author Wayne Kinsey. Jenny Linden Remembers, a full interview with the actress. Madhouse, Inside Hammer's Nightmare, featuring interviews with film historian Jonathan Rigby, Kevin Lyons, Alan Barnes, and John J. Johnson, as well as the trailer and a still gallery. And again, that is due out March 15th. And Troma's upcoming release of Surf Nazis Must Die, coming on February 8th. They did give some details on that. It's going to have a new intro with Lloyd Kaufman, interview with director Peter George, Hang 10 on Set, interview with producer Robin Tinnell, deleted scenes, the Projection Booth podcast featuring special guest Peter George, scenes from the Tromaville Cafe, the Soul of Troma, Troma promos, Radiation March and Indie Artists versus Cartels, Troma Now promo, Gizzard Face 2, the return of Gizzard Face, Troma Short, Blood Stab, plus more featurettes. So hopefully it also brings over all the extras that were on the DVD from way back. So it does have this new artwork, which I do think is very cool, but it's also going to have the original poster artwork as well. And again, that's due out February 8th, so right around the corner. And coming March 22nd, one of my personal favorite films, The Godfather, is of course coming in 4K. And they are releasing the trilogy, all 3 films, and that's one I've been waiting on for a couple years. Now that is going to have a couple different releases. It's going to be obviously a pack that's going to have the trilogy. It's going to be in 4K. It's going to also be a Blu-ray only trilogy pack, and there's also going to be sort of single releases on Blu-ray of 1 and 2. I don't think there's going to be single releases just yet of them on 4K, and there's going to be a limited edition set as well. Now these are new 4K restorations that have been going on for at least 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. It does look like it's porting over all the extras that have been available for years, which is good because a lot of those extras are just phenomenal. Now, one thing that looks like it is sort of specific to only the 4K sets, I believe it's both the regular 4K trilogy set as well as the limited edition, is the additional restoration for Godfather Part 3. So it'll have actually 3 cuts of Godfather 3 in 4K. It's going to have the new Coda cut, the original theatrical cut, as well as the home video cut from like 1990 or 91, whenever that was released on video, which I think that's actually the version I've grown up with. So have I even seen the original theatrical cut? I'm not even sure. I think the version I know is sort of like that video cut, but it does look like it will have all 3 versions of part 3. So this is a release I'm super excited about. As I mentioned before, The Godfather is actually one of my top 3 favorite films of all time. So I've been waiting for this release for a long time. And then finally, a film I really did not think we were gonna see, and I'm actually kind of still surprised it's coming, and that is indeed the movie The Farmer. It's coming from Scorpion, releasing, tentatively titled for sometime next month, sometime in February. And this will be a Blu-ray release that, at least for right now, is going to be only available through Diabolic DVD and Capstone Films. And the first 2,500 copies will have an exclusive slipcover. Now, the way it's worded, I'm kind of thinking, at least for now, that it's going to be a release that will sort of have a regular release down the line, maybe, you know, through Kino or something like that. It doesn't have too much on it, but it does have a new scan from the original negative, a music-only track, the trailer for The Farmer, as well as trailers for other Scorpion releasing titles. Now, this film from 1977 is kind of one that used to play a lot in like drive-ins and things like that. And what's funny is it sort of has developed this following because it's one of those films that just hasn't been available on video in like forever. I mean, like maybe it got a DVD release, but I don't even think it did. I don't think it's been available since VHS. And it's one that, if I remember the story correctly, I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, I want to say that Code Red actually purchased the rights to the film, not just to release, but literally, like, they literally own the film, and they, unfortunately, the amount of money that was going to cost to restore it, they weren't sure if they were going to release it or not, so it just sort of been sitting out for years, and I know in the Blu-ray.com forums, that was one that people just kept asking for over and over again, because it's like, when is this film ever going to get released? And now it looks like we are actually getting it. So it is up for pre-order right now. I did get mine in through Diabolic DVD because, my goodness, I have to see this film. I've been hearing about it for so many years now. It's just like, I think it's time. So that's one I'm looking forward to checking out when it finally comes in. I'll definitely have to plan to do a review of that one. So again, right now, that is sort of loosely tentative for next month. So let's hope. So that's it for this news updates. I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed and more stuff. I'm trying to like play some catch up right now. And I still need to do one more pickups video. I've gotten a couple things in, but obviously, you know, the Freddy bust obviously took precedence over a lot of this stuff. But there will be a pickups video coming up. So definitely let me know your thoughts on these titles. We got some good ones coming. I swear, this year is really shaping up really, really well. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.